Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new Doctor Who video where today I want to dive a little bit deeper into what feels like a load of crazy rumours that are just doing the rounds at the moment. Obviously I spoke about the David Tennant rumour last week, there's also been Tate rumoured to be returning, and I just want to I've done a bit more research and I just want to give you guys a more fuller understanding of exactly where all these things are coming from and whether we really should hold any truth, we should see any truth in any of these rumours, because I feel like it's all going a bit crazy at the moment. Just before I get into the video properly, just quickly guys, please if you're new here, hit that subscribe button for all the latest Doctor Who news and updates and stuff going on, and also follow me on Twitter at EMS_Productions for all the latest updates on my videos, news on stuff, my opinions on Doctor Who, general Doctor Who hot takes and the likes. But yeah, let's get cracking with the video itself. So yes, I did a video about a week or so ago now, I think it was, discussing the rumour that David Tennant would be returning to play the 14th Doctor, not the 10th Doctor. A rumour that had seemingly come from a Facebook group that would then be reported on the Plymouth Herald, I think it was, and seemed to get the fandom into a bit of a frenzy, and it was all going a bit crazy as to exactly what's going on. And I felt like, as much as, that was a good video and, I was happy to be able to get my opinion across, I also wanted to do some more research just to more fully understand exactly where this rumour came from. Because the rumour didn't really originally didn't originate from a Facebook page. It went further back than that, I think, in terms of coming from a renowned leaker, I guess we could say, on Reddit, who as I'll demonstrate in a minute, has proved to be correct on a lot of things previously in relation to the show in the last sort of year or two. And they're kind of the original source of this news that David Tennant will be coming back, albeit, as we'll see later, it's been a bit distorted as to the exact role he might be playing. And I just feel like with the rumours of David Tennant, the rumours of Tate, and just, it's one of those weird times in Doctor Who where there's not actually that much going on at the moment. The show's not being made. We've got, all the Whittaker era in the bank, and we've got the Sea Devil special coming up in a couple of months. But right now, there's not really very much going on. So it kind of breeds these slightly random, leaks and rumours and stories and whatever that are coming out to an extent. But I also just want to really delve deep into whether we should really be believing any of this or not. So I will invite you to the world of Reddit. Now, I'm sure, Reddit, Gallifrey-based forums like that, some people will just go, nah, it's all nonsense. And totally fair enough, I totally get you. I've always been a bit sceptical as well of that kind of thing. But I think more recently, my mind has kind of been turned around partially because of what happened around Series 12. Now, this has nothing to do with this particular user who's claiming this stuff. This was somebody else, back before about 3, 4, 5 months before Series 12 aired, gave a huge amount of information about Series 12 on Gallifrey base, which all proved to be correct, about the return of Sacha Dhawan as the Master, the Ruth Doctor, or Ruth becoming the Doctor, being a fugitive Doctor, there being pre-Hartnell Doctors, the Cybermen turning up. They knew it all. There was clearly somebody who worked for the production who knew all this stuff and was just passing it on. So it kind of gave me more confidence that, sure, there's a lot of nonsense on forums, there's a lot of nonsense on Reddit that you've got to read past, but also there can be some truth that comes out of that. And so we're going to take a little dive. I'm going to put some screenshots up. I'm going to read out a few Reddit posts and try and paint a picture as to where these David Tennant, Tate and the likes rumours have come from and whether we should believe them or not. So the key Reddit user, a user who has suddenly become quite renowned on Gallifrey base among other places, is a person called Tome Death 95. Who seems to have some sort of connections to Doctor Who or the production team or something. So yes, we're going to take a deep dive in and try and figure out whether what this person's saying, whether that's kind of the origins of the rumours and exactly whether we should be believing it or not. So first, hopefully you can see this on screen, we're going to take a look at essentially this person proving their track record before we establish, what they've said and therefore what it might mean. So they talk about at the very end of December, I reported that I'd in fact heard, prior to what I'd assumed previously, that the Sea Devils would be in the Easter special, which was then of course confirmed in the trailer that aired after Eve. So if we take a look at this linked post, it does say 1 month ago, which would be obviously in December, so before the special actually aired. In fact, it says there, doesn't it, the 29th of December, I think it said? Yeah, Wednesday the 29th of December. So only a couple of days, but before, and no one had a clue that it was going to be a Sea Devil story, and yet they claimed it, and it proved to be true. They say that they reported filming for RTD2 will start in May, which is sort of been confirmed as spring. So, it's a bit of a vague. That's a little bit more of a vague one. I won't give that 100%, but, it's fairly reasonable. And then, ages ago, they said that the Easter special would be co-written by a playwright called Ella something, which has proven to be Ella Road. She's tweeted implying that she's a part of it, and it was reported on the Cult Box, and so that's clearly what's happening. So that's another, proof of that they know something. They mentioned very, very early on. So here, I think there's the occasion that I mentioned that Chibnall and Whittaker were leaving after a 6-episode series 13 plus some 2022 specials, one of which was the centenary celebration, which was then confirmed at Comic-Con about a month or so after I said it. So yes, when talking about series 13, they say I think it's more likely going to be 31, and that we're getting 6-episode series 13 with 2 lead directors shooting about 3 episodes each, 3 specials. The 2 mentioned in the article, which were the just that there were 2 specials, but we didn't know quite when they were placed, and then they've also been asked to do a 3rd special which commemorates the 100th anniversary of the BBC. So yes, they made clear in June of this fact of the amount of episodes, the idea of a centenary special and the likes, and then about 6 weeks later was when it was actually announced officially. So clearly, no one really had an idea about the idea of a centenary special. That hadn't really been floated at all. So that was very fresh information, which again, implies some element of truth in what they're saying. There's also something they're posting in a Discord chat about Series 13 being serialized, which it obviously was because it was all one story, and then getting the director of those specific episodes correct as well, which is, pretty impressive, and again implies they've got some inside sources there. And then the last couple of things is... Well, they've reported that RTD's 6th anniversary celebration will take the form of 3 specials in 2023, and after that, it's an 8-episode series 14 in probably early 2024. So that's more of just a rumour at the moment, but, it still looks like it could be something that really could happen, I think. And there's also a comment there about Joe Martin taking Tama Folby-Sissy to come and shoot for Doctor Who Flux, which he obviously did. So that also, lends some credence to it. So obviously there's, sure, you can take it or leave it. It's a pinch of salt. I totally get it, but it seems to imply they have some inside sources, some inside knowledge on Doctor Who, and what may well be happening in the future. And so that obviously brings us on to what the heck's going on with David Tennant and Catherine Tate. So the key bit of information that they have imparted, which is in a thread discussing the return of Phil Collinson, that was I think showed up on a website about what shows people are working on and stuff at the moment. That became fairly clear. We can see here a very what's meant to be cryptic but not cryptic comment, which says MG, DT and CT and ET. So, who does that mean? Well, pretty obviously it means Murray Gold, David Tennant, Catherine Tate, and maybe you didn't get the ET, but that is probably Edward Thomas, who was the production designer on series 1 to 5 of Doctor Who, so the whole RTD era plus Matt Smith's first series. He was involved in a lot of the production design before he passed it on to Michael Pickwoad. And, he's pretty confident in that. He's making that pretty clear that he thinks that's true. And I think that is a lot of the basis. I think it also showed up on Gallifrey Base, possibly earlier than that, the idea there. But he certainly laid that out as a fact. Well, what he believes to be a fact, that these people are going to be returning. And I think people, then it's gone onto forums or onto social media, and then journalists have run with that, and it's got a bit twisted and whatever. And suddenly it might mean slightly differently to, that doesn't give us any impression of whether they're coming back to play the original characters, to play new characters, how long they're playing it for. It doesn't tell us anything. It just tells us that they're coming back in some form. That's certainly what it seems to suggest. But then one last thing to comment about this person is they've also said, I've certainly never heard the new character entirely part, at least not for definite in the way the article is saying. So it seems that they have heard on the grapevine that David Tennant and Catherine Tate are coming back in some form, but they have not heard this whole kind of key bit of the rumour that kind of got everybody riled up, which was that they were going to be playing new characters. And I think that's pretty significant because, that does very much change kind of my perspective on it. And I think a lot of people's perceptions on it would be, if they're just coming back to play the 10th Doctor and Donna for a 6th anniversary special, great, I'm happy, I'm on board with that. That's cool, sounds good. But the key difference was that the rumour originally seemed to be stating that they'd be playing fresh characters, or David Tennant would be the 14th Doctor. Now, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case based on these various rumours from this specific person, but, I guess we're going to have to wait and see to an extent. Now, this isn't for me to kind of, try and have a definitive answer here. This is very much I'm presenting you with some evidence, and then you can kind of make your own mind up on exactly what you think about it, whether you think this is true, whether you think we should believe this guy or whatever. In the past, because this guy's been around for a while, and I've seen him in the past, and I've been less sure about it, but then as things, more and more things he suggested have come true, I'm like, struggling to kind of ignore everything that he says. And so, I'm kind of leaning towards more likely that they're going to be involved in some form in the specials. But as to whether that's a new Doctor, a new companion or character, or whether that's going to be just returning as the 10th Doctor and Donna, I don't know. I think it's really, really interesting. And obviously I came up very, hard last week saying it's all nonsense. And I still believe the 14th Doctor stuff is ultimately going to be nonsense, because I don't think that's what this person is really saying anyway. Just that I think the idea of David Tennant returning, and Catherine Tate, frankly, I think is plausible, if nothing else. And I don't think it's against what RTD would look to do with Doctor Who, particularly if we're thinking of the 60th anniversary, however many specials, maybe 3, maybe just 1, whether that would be led by a 10th Doctor, David Tennant, as the sort of lead Doctor for those specials, before then introducing the 14th Doctor later on, which I still don't love. I don't think it's a great idea to not have the new Doctor established in the next episode and just have these limbo episodes, almost like missing episodes of the 10th Doctor and Donna. Like, is that really what we want for an anniversary celebration, rather than let's bring in a new Doctor, an exciting new Doctor? I don't like it, but I could see it happening, I think is probably the way to put it. So hopefully that has made you guys at least have a little bit more understanding of where these original rumours have come from. That, sure, the Plymouth Herald might have been quoting the Doctor Who David Tennant fan page, or something like that. But actually these rumours run a little bit more deep than that to some people who seem to have some sort of BBC sources. But again, they're just rumours, they're just leaks. Like, they could be complete nonsense. I don't want to say, definitively believe this, because that's not where we're at. And I don't want to be that sort of person saying, it's all true, because I don't think it necessarily is. But that's the evidence. I'll let you guys make your mind up. So yeah, guys, do put in the comments below your thoughts on all of this. What are your thoughts on David Tennant and Catherine Tate returning in whatever role they may be? What would you like to see them return as the original characters, as something else? What sort of story would you like to see play out over the 60th anniversary? I'd love to hear your opinions on it all. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have felt like things have been cleared up a little bit. Hopefully I feel like the recording of this video has been really messy, but hopefully when I cut it all together, and you'll have seen this, obviously, then it will be a little bit more coherent and able to understand exactly where it's all come from, where it's all going, and all that information. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I'll be doing lots more updates on any news and rumours that come around about the RTD era. I feel like I want to focus more on kind of news that comes up, rather than just sort of doing more discussion-based videos. Obviously, there's still kind of discussion, but rather than focusing kind of backwards, I want to look forwards a lot more on my channel, I think, and focus on possibilities for the future and things that are coming up and the rumours that are in the rumour mill and stuff like that. So if that's the sort of thing you're interested in, looking forward to the RTD2 era, then please do hit that subscribe button, and of course hit the like button, and I will see you again very, very soon for a brand new video. But until then, it's goodbye.